My name is Jess, and I am gardening in Zone 3B in Saskatchewan, Canada. Um, I believe this is week 9 of the garden tours. It's July 26th. No, sorry, Panda, you're not getting involved today. Oh, I know. Heartbreaking. Um, yeah, so this week we got a heck of a thunderstorm. Um, that knocked our power out, flooded our backyard, um, broke a tomato plant, knocked down the corn. Yeah, it was pretty good. Things have kind of recovered. At this point, the corn is kind of standing back up. I was able to go through and get some of the tomato plants fixed. But no, the garden is kind of a hot mess right now. But that's okay, because it's hot. And the rain made it into a mess. And yeah, when I'm talking flooded the backyard, it flooded. It was not good. But the power did come back on, and we were able to pump it all out. Now it's just a mud pit again, which is unfortunate because it was almost done and dry. Yeah. What else was there? Got some more bedding plants to get some color in the front. Changed something else up in the front that you'll see in the beginning part of the tour. I did get interrupted for the first time. So a couple weeks ago, there was a cat that lives down the street. She'd gotten out, and I didn't recognize her, and she was walking across the street. I'm like, okay, you're obviously somebody's pet. So I was chasing this cat under people's porches, and one of our neighbors that lives not next to us, but on the next porch set over, the cat was under that porch, and this woman came out, and she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, there's a cat under your porch. I'm trying to get it so that I can find its owners. So today when I was outside, she's like, oh, did you find another cat? And so the video cuts pretty short from being taking a look at the front to being up on the porch, but that was just because I don't want to include people who don't know they're being included. So you can actually hear her ask if I found another cat before the video cuts out. But it was kind of adorable. But, yeah, so without much further ado, we will get into the tour here. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks. Okay. So everything fared pretty well through the ridiculous amount of rain we got earlier in the week. I planted some color because I found that it was kind of lacking, just because the dahlias haven't bloomed yet and the sunflowers haven't bloomed yet, and the lilies are not going to bloom this year apparently because I messed up. That's okay. So I went out to Lumsden yesterday and got some cabricola, which are these little purple ones in here. And then I also stopped at another place also in Lumsden and got this petunia, the cream colored petunia, the French vanilla petunia, and the one over there. The two big ones aren't potted yet because I can't find my hand trowel and the dirt's a little hard. Yeah, lots of little flowers. The osteos have started flowering again, which is really exciting. Something knocked that dahlia over. I don't know what happened. I have to find stakes and stake it up. This hosta's huge. That one's not so big, but it's still managing. The sunflowers are getting massive. I'm loving them in here. There's no head on this one. This one's the Russian mammoth, so it's got some growing to do still. This one is the Black Magic, and I see 3 flower heads on it, so hopefully we get some flowers off of that one. And then this one has a flower head starting on it, and I can't remember if that's another yellow one or if that's my Tahoe sun, I think. It's a red ring one, so That'll be real pretty here soon. Let's see. The coleus are doing good in the bed. My clematis flowered. So this flower is almost spent. But this one opened up. Isn't that beautiful? They're so delicate looking. I'm very proud. Very pleased. Because I really did think I killed them. But they seem to be doing quite well. Which is nice. Yeah. Oh, and then the big change this week. There's no more tree stump. So, I was talking to our neighbors last week, and they had mentioned that one of their kids got hurt on the tree stump that used to be here. So I messaged them and was like, hey, I'll rip out the tree stump and put something pretty in. So this was actually a container layout that I bought and just plunked in the ground. So this is I'm going to say it wrong and people are going to complain about it. But this is a Darcinia, which I could take inside in the fall and use and have it as a house plant. Then there's some more capricola and some petunias. I literally bought them for the Galaxy petunias, and I'm hoping I can get seeds and I can start my own next year. But yeah, it looks a lot better too when you look overall here. Let's see, zoom out a little bit. It just flows a lot nicer. And then there's a mess I gotta clean up over there. Then in the fall, we're gonna be doing some upgrades here. Probably putting in a new bed in the ground. Not sure if that's gonna happen. So yeah, this is an update on the containers. They're giant and beautiful and a little bit overwhelming if we're being honest. These have started to take off for me, which is exciting. They're really pretty. Really pretty. And the snaps keep growing. I don't know how, but they just keep growing. I planted the ones in the back, finally. I don't know if they'll flower just because I kind of left them too long, but hopeful. They're still going. Lots of these are still flowering, which is nice. I'll have to go through and pull some of those dead ones off. Maybe save some seed pods for next year. We do not have another lily in here yet. Not another flower anyways. Lots of nice leaves though. And then I think next year, if I do coleus in a container, I'm just gonna have one. But the rusty reds are starting to put out flower heads, which is cool. And then the colocasia is still in here, but I think it might be toast. So we'll probably have to rip that out. Oh, and these petunias are filling in lovely. I didn't know if they would work well together, but they're doing pretty good. And then there's flowers forming on these pumpkins. And they're a little beat up, but you'll see why. I have video of the rainstorm that blew through here, so you will understand why they look a little bit sad. This container is doing really well. Cannot get over this coleus though. It's gorgeous. And for whatever reason, this colocasia is doing better than the other one. But I think this is because it's a little more shaded. And then this flower is spent. Oh, it won't come out. Goodness. I'll have to come in there later. Clip it. But yeah, these calla lilies are just gorgeous. And speaking of gorgeous, these bloom heads just keep amazing me. They're so beautiful. And there's so many of them now. And there's just more leaves coming up and more heads coming up. Yeah. I mean, a lot of the blooms are wilting because that's what they do, but it's just so pretty. And most exciting part for me, I have nasturtium flowers. It has been a very long time since I've gotten nasturtiums to flower for me. So I'm pretty excited. They all greatly enjoyed the rainstorm that we had. And then there's no flowers on this calla yet. But I'm hoping soon. Hopefully. Because I really want to see these black ones. And see how dark and different they are compared to the dark purple ones there. Yeah. So that's the front update as of week 9 here. Holy moly, week 9. It's a little intense. So yeah, now we will head out to the backyard here. Ooh, it's warm back here. Okay. So, we got a hot mess garden. Because I haven't really been back here since the thunderstorm, which I have clips of. So you will get to see what happened. But yeah. Pulled some peppers off of these plants. Everything's looking nice and lush and green. Tomatoes are setting really well. This plant just wants to do whatever it wants. Whoops. Oh well. Leaves break. It happens. The cucamelons have just taken over. And they're everywhere. They are putting out cucamelons though, which I'm happy about. This is the triaged plant that is putting out little tiny tomatoes, which is very exciting. Everything needs to be watered, but I have to come back here and assess everything. Petunias are doing well. These 3 actually have seed pods that have been put out, so I can harvest off of them. I have not put anything in these yet. I don't know if I will, given the fact that it's getting so late in the season. Yeah, everything's kind of wilty. A little bit sad, but that's alright. They're just dry, because these ones sit up and get more sun than the ones down here do. But all my pepper plants are a little bit dry right now. However, there's a lot of peppers coming in, which is exciting. And I mean, they'll bounce back. It won't take very long. That Anaheim is getting huge. There's another one there. I don't know if you guys can see that one. It's looking pretty magnificent. The peppercini does not have any set fruit yet. The buggos that were on this are gone. Got more flowers setting. Little tiny Mexican sandwich gherkins just all over. The basils are doing well. The basils are gonna have to get plucked pretty soon here and made into something, or I'm gonna lose them. These tomatoes, they're so close. They're so close. Honestly, waiting for fruit to mature feels like it takes longer than waiting for like the flowers to set. You know what I mean? Just so impatient. The bean shelf is officially just a bean shelf. That's all there is on there right now. It's just beans. Finally. I got everything else put where I wanted it to go. These pole beans are out of control, and I love it. They're doing exactly what I hoped they would do and just encasing this entire place in leaves. Now we just need beans to show up. There have been flowers. Don't know if you can see. There have been flowers. See? So, I'm hoping we'll get some beans relatively quick here, because they're currently getting shown up by my pea plants. And then there's the rubber boots that we are going to be possibly wearing. We might just also barefoot it, because those rubber boots are covered in mud still, and I'm pretty sure they got wet on the inside when it rained, because they might have still been outside. The Bergmansia is getting giant and putting out so many new leaves. We got some bud sites on Miss Janie here. The Tabasco needs a drink, because it's looking a little bit sad. But it'll bounce back. I'm not too worried. Yeah. Things are a little rough, but that's what happens when you get pummeled. And when I say pummeled, I mean pummeled with rain. It was a little bit frightening. Like, this entire area here was filled with water, and then the power went out, so we couldn't pump it out. And if you look over there, I don't know if you can see it from here, but the corn was flattened. Tomato plants broke. Yeah. So I've been out here doing a little bit, but like my radish is toast. Pretty sure the cabbage head is not a head anymore. There's a tomato plant right there that's busted down. Still attached, but busted down. Oh, speaking of tomato plants. Excuse me there, Jeannie. And I apologize to anybody who gets kind of grossed out when people walk barefoot in the mud, but that's really my only option right now. So that's gonna happen. I apologize. So, I have some sort of volunteer tomato plant. This was where my Black Beauty was planted, and my Black Beauty died on me. So that's why I put the midnight snack in. And now I have a tomato plant that is not attached to this one, and I don't know where it came from. So maybe it's my Black Beauty coming back? I don't know. I'm hoping that it gets to the point where it grows something and I can figure out what it is. Otherwise, I just have a random tomato plant growing in my yard in July, which is not the worst thing, but I have questions. I just have questions. Yeah. Oh, it does look like we've got cabbage loopers again. Yeah. Dang it. I don't know if I'm ever gonna actually get to eat this cabbage, because it keeps getting eaten by other stuff. Even this one now is getting eaten by other stuff. Yep. See that? That is a cabbage looper. We don't want those. Which means I have to come out here this evening and put a little bit of pesticide down, unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, we're not doing too terrible for the heat and the rain and all of that fun stuff. Also, these tomato plants are giant. I honestly did not think that they would reach the canopy, but if you can see over there, they have. And my cucumber plants look kind of sad. I think my cucumbers got too wet and are subsequently unhappy about that. Then I just have this big radish I'm pretty sure it's gonna flower on me. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, so I just kind of left it to see what happens. Oh, there's a spider. Daddy long legs. There was a eggplant flower on here, and I believe it got pollinated. I just don't have eggplants growing on it yet. The sugar baby has some ripe tomatoes on it. Some of my kale did not appreciate the storm and did not survive, unfortunately. Pepper plants in the bed shot way up. I don't know if they'll actually produce any peppers for me though. Let's see, I did fertilize the zucchini. I did replant the sad boys too, so we'll see if anything happens with them. Oh, there's a fuzzy caterpillar. Look at that. I don't know what kind it is, so I don't want to touch it. And it's on a weed, so I'm not too concerned. That's cool. I didn't realize that. Oh, yeah, here's that zucchini that I fertilized last week. So that's ready to come out. Oh, you can't even see it because the leaf is in the way. Oh goodness, okay. I will have to come back for that. I believe that one got pollinated, seeing as it's a nice green color. Hopefully I get overrun with zucchini, because that would be cool. Lots of yellow cucumbers, unfortunately. But that happens. I believe they got too wet. So hopefully they recover. I have a couple things I have to do to help them recover. And then we got pea plants that are doing really well. Those ones are producing super well, if you can see. I don't know if you can see them, but there's lots of pea pods over there. And then the squash is doing exactly what I figured it would do with the new fence, which is grow on it and through it. So I have to be out here monitoring that. The celery's probably getting to the point now where I could probably start harvesting it. Just get through the mess of squash plants here. Of course, make sure they stay on our side. Because they can climb the fence all they want. I just want them to stay on our side. Because that way, if they produce, I can access them. Yeah. The onions are getting close to the end here. They're all starting to lay down on me. This endive is... I just have to take it out. That's really my only option at this point, is to just take it out. Because I now have endive towers, which is fine. It just looks kind of silly. But yeah, everything is very lush right now. And then my little butternut looks like that might be as big as it gets, but the plant is doing well. I'm probably not doing squash next year though, because it takes up a whole lot of room, and I don't have incredible amount of space. But I tried very hard. Walk over the squash plants here, the watermelon. This is such a cute little plant, and oh yeah, there's some little female flowers coming in. The potatoes are probably getting to the point where I can start looking to pull them. The lettuce bin, I should say, is getting to the point where I can start pulling out of that too for my lunches, which is exciting. And then yeah, from this angle, you can see my toppled over corn a little bit better. Let's see if I can get closer here. Just a mess of hoses and plants and all that fun stuff. My arugula is doing really well. I just walked through a spider web. That really sucked. Yeah. The arugula is doing well. I'm actually pulling out of this for my lunches. I pulled some deer tongue lettuce out for my lunches. These cabbage seem to be doing a little bit better when it comes to pests. I did end up pulling a lot of my radish out because they all kind of petered off. So the plan with that is to hopefully plant more of them about mid-August when it starts to cool down. Oh, you can see there's an okra there that I need to harvest. I moved the pansies closer to the bees. The cosmos and zinnias are still growing and coming up. I think you can see a little bit better if you ignore the very sad looking cucumbers. You can see a little bit better that there's a tomato plant there that's just about to the canopy, and a pea plant that is above the canopy, which I was not expecting, but it's a nice surprise. Lots of green tomatoes coming in, so they'll color up real soon, I hope. Lots more flowers coming in. But yeah, it's just a little wild in here right now. And I'm kind of digging it. Not gonna lie. I figured I might have been a little more controlling with my garden stuff, but I've just come to learn that plants are gonna do what plants are gonna do, and you just really, all you can do is kind of hold on tight and see what happens. Because no matter how much you try to control what your garden does, it's going to do whatever it feels like doing. Which sometimes includes making it impossible to walk through without accidentally crushing something, and you don't want to crush things. But yeah, that's the backyard this week. Oh, except for the sad strawberry wall, which need water, and these guys that are actually doing really well. And I think next year I might just do all baskets of strawberries instead of cucumbers and figure something else out for my poor sad cucumbers. I do have a cucumber, a little potato cucumber. I don't know if you can see it from this angle, if I can grab it. Let's see here. What is on my plant? Yeah, it's right here. Right here. Is that not neat looking? I don't want to pull this one yet until I can tell for sure that there's other ones though, because I want to save seeds. Because that's actually a little bit of a rarer type of cucumber. That improved long green is amazing. Now I just need cucumbers to form on it. But yeah, so I'm not going to forget the zucchini. This giant thing. Oh goodness. Gonna have to figure out what to do with that. Well, figure out how we're going to eat it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for week 9 here. It's doing some things. Getting to the point of I'm a little concerned because I might be overrun with vegetables very soon. I'm hoping I'm overrun with vegetables, honestly. But yeah, so it's a little bit earlier in the day than usual, but I'm gonna thank you guys for hanging out with me in this wild, crazy mess of a garden. This tiny little patch of paradise in a suburb in Saskatchewan. Yeah. That's really all there is to it this week. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Hit me up in the comments if you've got questions or comments or concerns or guidance, because I'm always interested to hear other people's opinions and what's worked for them in regards to this stuff. Yeah. Until next week, I will see you guys later. Thanks. Bye-bye.